My fiance chose my sister to be his best man and was furious when I made her wear a tuxedo, so I gave him back his ring and cancelled our wedding. I am marrying Mark, a handsome, responsible, intelligent man with a kind heart and great humor. My sister Jennifer will be his best man. Jennifer is best friends with my husband, Mark. He's known her more than twice as long as I. They also game online and hang out all the time. They've gone to conventions together as part of a group or two. They do local classes and events together, and Mark helps Jennifer with her photography and editing. After we got engaged, we were at a family dinner, and I was talking to Mark about the wedding party, and I mentioned that even though I have two sisters, I wanted my own best friend, Helen, to be my maid of honor. Mark said that was great because he wanted to ask Jennifer to be his best man. Jennifer immediately and enthusiastically agreed. Being a female best man is just the kind of thing she'd love, even if that meant she wouldn't be one of my bridesmaids. She also knew I had too many people who needed to be bridesmaids between our other sister and some of my friends, and Mark was worried about being short on groomsmen. This was all fine until later, when we discussed what people would wear. I picked out my dream wedding dress and coordinated the bridesmaid dresses. Mark would have his groomsmen, who were other gaming buddies, in tuxedos. However, Jennifer was going to wear a dress. Jennifer is a very tall, attractive woman. To be perfectly frank, she has a large chest. The dress she wants to wear was designed by one of her friends online, and while it's not white or anything formal and fancy, it shows off her figure. I wouldn't say in a SLT way at all, but it just does. She would also, as best woman, stand out from the other men on the groom's side, especially in the heels she wanted to wear with the dress. After dropping a few hints here and there and broaching the subject of each side of the wedding party matching in women's tuxedos, I gently requested that Mark have Jennifer wear a tuxedo rather than the dress and shoes she wanted and he had previously liked. When they gave me pushback, I pointed out to Jennifer that she might be too exposed or she might distract people with such a flashy dress. Jennifer gave me a dirty look and said, half under her breath, "Are you effing serious?" And before I could react, she just said, "Fine, F it, you're the bride. I'll wear the effing tuxedo." Mark sighed and half said some things about it being ridiculous, but when I asked him what he said, he just said, "Okay, it's whatever, it's fine." Since then, Mark and Jennifer have been passive-aggressively making fun of my concerns, with them doing things like Mark comedy ogling her chest or her making all sorts of honker jokes. She's ostentatiously covered up her chest with her hands when she moves past people, saying things like, "Gotta guard the girls, wouldn't want to knock anyone over." Both she and Mark keep making fake Freudian slips about her chest or her figure, and Jennifer even pretends to lose her balance and fall over because her honker were too heavy. They pretty much just do this when I'm around. They seem to think it's hilarious. They've made it very well known that Jen is disappointed about not getting to wear the dress and that her seamstress friend is upset about it, too. And Mark has seemed a bit distant and disinterested in wedding planning. I was looking over some tuxedos for women and making some suggestions to Jennifer about ones that aren't too tight in the chest or hips. She showed me the one she had already picked and asked, "Is this fine? Or do you want to micromanage my tuxedo further?" We started to get into a fight, and she accused me of being a bridezilla. When I told her she was being a bad sister, she said that she wasn't the one who was being body shamed and told what to wear. I told her my requests weren't body shaming, and she said they were the same. My parents took Jennifer's side and said I should let her wear the dress. She showed it to them, too, and they thought it was beautiful. My father said that I should at least stop bothering her about the tuxedo if I make her wear one, and then I should just let her go with the one she picked. The one she wants, though, is a very high visual impact and very tailored. She said she could match it to the colors, but it still stands out. When I tried to get Mark to weigh in on this, he said, "It's your wedding, do whatever you want." I guess I'll tell her to do whatever you want. And he's not very invested. He's not on the same page but doesn't want to argue. Update: Mark's ideas have been ridiculous. These are just some of the things he asked for, which John, Jennifer, and his buddies thought would be cool. He wanted the wedding party to have custom swords and amulets. He wanted them to have the swords during the ceremony and thought people would like fantasy amulets. Mark wanted to serve meat at the wedding. He said that his friend, John, could provide it and that he made meat in his basement and had tons of it. I said no because why would I want meat at my wedding? Never mind some guy's basement meat. Mark wanted the band to play classical covers of video games and superhero music at the wedding. Mark wanted the reception to have a jester wandering around doing magic tricks and asking people riddles. Mark and his friends know some lady asked if she could be an elf at our wedding and wear her forest gown. It's a wedding, not a costume party, so I don't know why he would ask. The point is that all of Mark's ideas were completely ridiculous and that I wanted a wedding, not a Halloween party. I went to Mark's house because he hadn't called or texted. Mark said that I stressed him out when I was over, and he wasn't sure about me moving in because thinking about it gave him anxiety. He was extremely frustrated about the wedding planning and felt he didn't have a say. He said the dress Jennifer wanted to wear was just about the final straw because I told him he could pick the outfits for the groomsmen, and I told him Jen could be in a dress as long as it matched. She, John, and his buddies warned him I'd find some way to have a problem with it. He says I talk him in circles whenever he tries to choose or change anything, even though his suggestions are ridiculous. And he said he'd just about given up caring by the time I complained about the dress, so he didn't bother fighting about it. He said it upset him the way I was body shaming Jennifer about her figure and her breasts. He thought I was being jealous and controlling and that I had been a bridezilla ever since he proposed. When I asked him why he even proposed, if I apparently give him anxiety and he doesn't even want me to move in with him, he said he felt like he was pressured to either propose or break up. He hoped things would improve but didn't know if he had a good enough reason to break up. When I told him that I never pressured him to propose, he said that all of my friends and family know that I consider it a goal to get married before I'm 30. Mark apologized, saying he wanted to put a hold on any more wedding or moving plans and wasn't sure about the relationship. I had already started crying, but I broke down, and he apologized again. He said he was sorry for messing up my plans and hoped things would improve. I left as soon as I felt like I could drive. By the time I got home, Mark had already texted Jen, "Your sister is crying." Sorry. The two of them had been on the phone the whole time. Of course, my mom knew, and she tried to comfort me, but I could just tell she wanted to say I told you so because she had been warning me I was going to drive Mark away, and she thought he was better with Jennifer too. Jennifer said that she tried hard to have this work out because she just wanted Mark to be happy and that she had tried inviting me to gaming, and for Christmas before last, she bought me a Switch with games Mark likes, and that she was sorry stuff happened this way. She accused me of not really liking or caring about Mark and just wanting a generic husband. When I told her that wasn't fair, she mentioned the same stuff from the wedding planning and a bunch of other stuff from our relationship that made Mark feel ignored or suffocated. She said I only liked him because he ticked boxes, always gave in, and let me have my way. We started arguing, but our mom stepped in before we could get into it too badly. I asked Jennifer what this meant for her and Mark, and she said he is her best friend, and nothing will ever change that, and she loves him. When I asked how she loves him, she said that's not a discussion she wants to have right now. I gave Jennifer Mark's ring to give back to him, and then I had a missed call from him while I was in the shower and a text that said, "Okay, I guess we are broken up then. I'm sorry. Seems like I'm not going to get married by the time I'm 30.